This is a very important video to build your concept of chain rule. Now, right now, I'm just taking the first basic 6 trigonometric functions, and we'll see how this can be used in chain rule. All right, you got to be very careful watching this. This builds a complete knowledge, the intelligent part of your differentiation. All right, look at this. I'm just taking the first guy. Let's say like y is equal to sine x. Okay, now if I generally differentiate this, I get what? Dy by dx is equal to cos of x. All right, now what I do is I differentiate this and I write d by dx of x, which we don't write generally. So it goes like dy by dx is equal to cos of x into 1. Okay, and that goes like cos of x. That's it. So that's my differentiation of sine x. All right, now what we're doing is we'll do the same thing, but let's say sine of a function or a bracket or something else. Okay, a bracket there. So how do I differentiate this? Dy by dx would be cos of that function into d by dx of that function, whatever comes inside. Okay, now go ahead. Dy by dx will equal this. Now let's stop this here. Let's take a small example and do this. All right, if I like y is equal to sine of let's say inside this function is let's say log x. So what happens? So dy by dx would be cos of whatever function comes inside, that is log x, into d by dx of log x. That's how it works. All right, that goes like what? Cos of log x into 1 by x. And that's how it works. So whatever I fill inside this would come here. If for all there's a power x here, a power comes here, a power x comes here. Then I need to differentiate this guy as the next step. That's all about it. All right, now let's continue with this and see how we can differentiate the second guy. Is y is equal to cos of x. Okay, now generally what we know about this is dy by dx would be minus of sine x, which I know the formula, into d by dx of this guy inside, that is x. So what happens here? Minus sine x into this goes as 1 and is minus sine x. That's it. So that is dy by dx, isn't it? Now if I write the same thing, all right, but instead of x, let me just take a bracket. Okay, that goes like y is equal to sine or cos of any function. In this case the function of x, right? In this case function can be anything else, but let me just take a bracket there. So what happens here? Dy by dx would be cos is differentiated as minus sine that bracket into d by dx of whatever bracket it is. Okay, that's the chain part in this. All right, so if I have to apply, let's say y is equal to cos of, let's talk about tan x inside. So there's a chain is tan of x and the whole thing is inside cos, right? So what happens here? How do I open cos? Like this, cos is differentiated as minus sine of whatever is inside. So I can add minus cos or minus sine. So who's this guy? Tan x. Okay, that's it. So look at this. If it is cos x, it is minus sine x into d by dx of x. Similarly, if it is cos of tan x, it is minus sine tan x into d by dx of tan x, and that's it. So that's how I use chain in trigonometric functions. All right, so look at this, minus sine tan x into, now I differentiate this guy as secant squared x, and that's all about it. Okay, let's go ahead to another one, that is the third guy, that is tan x. If y is equal to tan x is what I differentiate. What is the answer? Simple. Dy by dx would be secant square x, and that's it, right? And I can write d by dx of that x, which goes like secant square x into 1, and that is secant square x. That's it. Okay, that is dy by dx. Now if I choose, all right, instead of x another function, let's say y is equal to tan of, not x this time, let's say e power x this time. Okay, now what happens here? All right, if I don't use e power x, so let's just take it as a bracket now. So what happens? Secant squared that bracket, whatever function comes inside, into differentiation of that function. Okay, this is my more general formula. This is what I know. All right, from here to here is a formula we know, but these two things we don't have to remember. But now I'm just writing this guy, the most general form. Now if I apply chain rule. Okay, y is equal to tan of, let's talk about e power x inside now. So what happens here? Dy by dx would be, how do you differentiate tan? That is secant squared. I will not write x here. What is inside? E power x. See, in this case it was x, so I wrote x, right? So in this case it is e power x, so I'll write e power x into d by dx of e power x. And what happens here? That is secant squared e power x. And how do I differentiate this guy? E power x itself. So my answer is secant squared e power x into e power x. That's all about it. I hope now you're getting the first chain and how to use chain rule in these 6 trigonometric functions. I would like you guys to try secant, cosecant and cot yourself. If not, continue this video or just pause it and try working it yourself. Right?